Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Jordan Cameron back on Labor Day with another update of our biggest blow off topic, crypto history, followed by the biggest rug pull in crypto history. Today is going to be a quick video, guys. Just want to get you guys an update here on the long weekend. Hope everyone's having a great long weekend. Not really much going on this weekend. We got Bitcoin kind of chopping around, total market cap just kind of chopping around. Not really too much going on, but I kind of want to go over a few things today of where we stand on total market cap, where we stand on Bitcoin, where we stand on Ethereum, and we are obviously a USDT dominance chart, Bitcoin dominance, all our favorite charts, and why I still think this is just an all-time high retest before we're about to see higher prices over the next few weeks. So let's jump on in and not waste our time. So obviously last video, what we discussed is if we kind of go over here to Bitcoin, we can see that, Bitcoin right now is just coming down to retest its previous high from December 2024. We got total market cap just coming down to retest our previous high also from December 2024, right on top of there. And we're waiting for the impulse to come back up, right? We got our altcoin market cap chart, right, which is total 3ES, coming down to test that May 2025 top, right? That double bottom came up, now coming back down to double bottom retest, right? And if we kind of look at all these charts and where they all are, you guys can see they're at very, very pivotal levels for the short term. Now, as we kind of go along here, right, our bigger base case, right, before we talk until maybe a little bit more of the short term here, right, our bigger base case is obviously total market cap continuing up to the 10 trillion, 4.236 Fibonacci and top of our macro rising wedge before ultimately getting a giant rug pull. If you guys haven't, obviously seen the channel or gone through this journey with us since about April when Bitcoin was down here at the 50 moving average band, well, you wouldn't know any idea what we're talking about. But, just to give you guys a quick synopsis, anytime Bitcoin comes to the 50 moving average band, which is the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA, on the weekly, right? In a bull market, that is typically a time you want to be bullish and not bearish, right? And we were looking for Bitcoin to explode up into a new all-time high, which it did from that April and March low when everyone was scared of the tariffs, right? And then conversely, we were looking for total market cap to also come up and make into a new all-time high, which it also has. Now, we have not seen the follow-through yet. But as we just discussed, I think what we're just seeing here is some, monthly close and, monthly start of September volatility. And just a little bit of that monthly close and monthly open volatility that scares everyone. And just some simple retests above those previous all-time highs before we really start to kick off, total market cap going higher, total 3ES, right, which is our altcoins minus Bitcoin and Ethereum going higher, right? And obviously our stablecoin dominance chart, which is our main driver of the market going higher. And I'm going to continue to harp on this. I do not think the crypto top is in until I see stablecoin dominance reach back down here at 4.91% at a minimum, if not a little bit lower. But obviously, if we get to 4.91%, we have to be a little bit worried, like we were over here in December 2024, and like we were over here in February 2024. That was the time to be worried. But until we reach that point, we wanted to continue to be bullish. But obviously, as we kind of go along here, you guys know the general synopsis is we're going to the 4.91% level on stablecoin dominance, which conversely, if stablecoin dominance goes down to that level, right, we would expect total market cap to continue up to our greater euphoric heights over these next few weeks to few months, because not only do we have our stablecoin dominance chart, right, getting a little retrace up, but ultimately expecting a move lower, we also have our typical 4-year cycle, right, coming to a close here in the next 3 to 4 months. As you guys know, that, if you've been following the crypto, world for any time since 2011, right, we've had these 4-year cycles where Bitcoin tops out in Q4 of the post-halving year, right, which is 2025, which is this year, right, same as 2021, same as 2017, and same as 2013. So in my base cases, right, as we head towards the end of the cycle, right, I do believe that Bitcoin has had an explosive cycle, and I do believe Bitcoin has actually higher to go in this cycle, but I do believe it's going to be the altcoin market that's going to push us into that euphoric move up to the 4236 Fibonacci level. Because, why? Because we're in those last 3 to 4 months of the cycle. And if you take a look at Bitcoin dominance, anytime in the previous 4-year cycles, guys, Bitcoin dominance in those final 3 to 4 months of the 4-year cycle, okay, has cratered, okay? Over here in 2021, from February 2021 to May of 2021, when Bitcoin hit that first peak in 2021, right? I almost said 2001. In 2021, you guys can see that we had a massive drop on Bitcoin dominance back down to the bottom of this sort of symmetrical triangle. And you can see in 2017 from July, really August 2017 to about December 2017, right? That final 4 months, right, was a move down to the bottom of the symmetrical triangle. You guys can see we've already started that since June, okay? But I am expecting this to continue down. And obviously, if we're expecting Bitcoin dominance to continue back down to the bottom of this sort of, support box down here, between 35 to 40, 50%. I don't know how low it's going to go. I'm not going to try to guess that. But if we're expecting Bitcoin dominance to continue down, right, and we're expecting USDT dominance to continue down, well, that means we're expecting altcoins to outperform Bitcoin and the crypto market to continue up. And that is the main driver of why we're expecting total market cap to get a massive peak up here at 10 trillion. And we're expecting the altcoin market, which has made, right, our 3 rising valleys pattern on top of our macro rising wedge here, same as total market cap, up to, close to 2.5 trillion, which is a massive move for the altcoin market. You're talking about a 3 to 4x for the altcoin market as a whole, okay? So, as we kind of go along here and as we kind of, get closer and closer and closer to, the sort of 4-year cycle typical top, all right? Times are ticking, guys. Times are ticking, and I said I think we only have 3 to 4 months tops to lock in and absolutely make the most of this cycle before we ultimately do see this massive drop on total market cap, which has obviously led to a massive rise on stablecoin dominance. And that is also correlated to, if we come over here to our global liquidity chart on Bitcoin, right? You guys can see that actually global liquidity is actually starting to tip back up again, but we are expecting some type of local top middle to end of September, all right? So my stance is still that we will see some type of rise into the middle of end of September. Maybe we see some type of local top and then sort of a Q4 push if and only if global liquidity is going to push higher over the next few months. And that's something that we're going to be watching over these next few months. Will global liquidity continue to push up and allow us this cycle to extend into maybe November and December? Or is sort of late September, early October going to mark the peak of the cycle? Okay, which is, conversely of, 2017, it was, December 2017. 2021, it was November 2021. Right? A lot of people looking at an earlier cycle top like October or September, right? So, as we kind of go along here, I think everything is going to plan, guys, right? Obviously, a thing to watch here, in my opinion, is obviously nothing set in stone of what has to happen in the short term. I think, what we got right now is Bitcoin's holding above those, December 2024 highs. Total market cap is holding above those December 2024 highs. As long as we continue to hold that, all is good in the hood. Obviously, our invalidation for our euphoria phase for the crypto market is if Bitcoin breaks below our 50 moving average band, which right now, if we take a look, is sitting right at 96,000. Okay, so 96,000 is actually kind of where both the 50 EMA and 50 SMA are sitting at the current moment. So as long as Bitcoin stays above 96,000, I'm still expecting in the higher time frames that we are going to see a higher move on Bitcoin. If we get any type of weekly close below 96,000, obviously I come on here and I tell you guys that has typically marked the cycle top in previous cycles as of 2021. Break of the 50 moving average bands was the end of the cycle, and 2018 breaking to the 50 moving average bands was the end of the cycle. But as of right now, we still stand above, and I am still expecting Bitcoin to move higher, even though we might see some short-term weakness, because we take a look at Ethereum. right? Obviously, we know Ethereum hit its previous all-time high and wick slightly above, right? We could still see weakness on Ethereum, which is obviously going to be the main driver of altcoins for the next few weeks. So if ETH kind of bounces around here for the next few weeks, right, we could expect to see altcoins maybe bounce around for the next few weeks before we get a bigger impulse. But obviously, the main driver of altcoins getting this massive move, okay, is seeing ETH break into new all-time highs. Because just like when Bitcoin breaks into new all-time highs and then you see Ethereum breaking into new all-time highs would then lead to the true altcoin season, which I do not believe we've seen yet. And I do believe it is still Ethereum season until we see Ethereum well above its previous all-time high, just like it was always Bitcoin season until we saw Bitcoin break well above its previous all-time high. So, as we kind of wait and as we kind of chop around, guys, patience, patience, patience. Do not overreact to short-term news, right? The time to be bullish still is as long as Bitcoin's above 96,000, okay? If you get any opportunities for some ads, you do you, right? I am passing this cycle where I am not looking to buy anything at this point, okay? I have done my accumulation through 2022, 2023, 2024, and mainly on altcoins. I have the tariff fear here, okay? But you do you. Ultimately, right now, for me, it's above 96,000, I remain a bull. Below 96,000, I am a bear. But as of right now, we are well above 96,000 and just kind of boring people out with a typical weekly or a monthly close, monthly open setup through August and September here. So as we go along, guys, right, nothing's really changed on the theory as we kind of just chop around and retest previous all-time highs on Bitcoin and total market cap. But ultimately, our theory still is the same. We are still expecting, right, a move up to the 4236 Fibonacci, a move to the 10 trillion market cap, right, which is caused by our stablecoin dominance going down to 4.91%. And until we see that move to stablecoin dominance to 4.91%, there's nothing new to be added. We remain bulls and we remain oblivious to the news that comes out, right? The negative news that causes pullbacks, we sort of ignore that, right? Once we get a move to 4.91%, then we pay more attention to the major bullish news that comes out, which typically marks highs, all right? And just to go over our sentiment once again, right, on today's video, I don't want to spend too much time with this because, quite frankly, we haven't really made any major moves on this over the last few weeks, but Coinbase app still remains at 339, way below our #1 top signal, okay? So as we kind of go along here, guys, once again, patience, patience, patience. During these few weeks and, during these chop phases, just like we saw, kind of back here in June. I think we're kind of seeing a similar thing here again in August. But, once again, our theory still remains and just time to be patient. Tomorrow, I do plan on doing a live stream tomorrow, so I'll see you guys in the live stream. Hopefully there's a little bit more to talk about tomorrow as we kind of get over the long weekend, but I did want to get an update video up here over the long weekend just to make sure you guys are well aware our theory is still valid, and it has been since March and April and through the pullbacks and through the red weeks and through the red days and through the red hourly candles. We are still expecting this blow off top where everyone will say crypto will change the world, and we're still going to continue to climb the wall of worry until you get that pullback where no one thinks it's the top, okay? And if you guys haven't seen anything, every red week people are calling the top, still climbing the wall of worry for the crypto market. All right, so I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's live stream. If you guys want to follow the journey of the biggest blow off top in crypto history, followed by the biggest rug pull in crypto history, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, man. We're getting so close to 100,000, man. That will make my friggin' year if we can get to 100K by, sort of the end of September. I think that's going to be a pretty easy goal, but you guys can make it happen faster by smacking that like button. Join the journey, guys. Be on the journey of this biggest blow off top in crypto history, followed by the biggest rug pull the whole way, right? As we yell at people to take profits as crypto market total market caps at all-time highs, and we yell at people to buy the dip when ultimately everyone says crypto is a scam again in 2027. All right, so catch you guys in the next one. Hope everyone is great out there and stay blessed. It's been your boy Jordan Camera, and catch you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Later.